It's Power Scaling Saturday again, and tonight I got a little surprise for you all. See, since it is the spooky month, I decided to do a little something special and do a tier list with the Dead by Daylight killers. But not the one you're thinking. Everyone's done it. How devoted they are, what century they came in, which one they want to fuck. That's not me though. What I wanted to do was something special. Tonight's tier list is which VTuber fan would each Dead by Daylight killer be? Before I get started, let's go over the tiers. We got hololive fan, Face Connect, Vishojo, Indie, Lootuber. We got the VT browser, and we got Nichi Sister at the bottom, where it deserves. So where will the Trapper be? We actually gotta think about the lore real quick, because if you remember, the Trapper is the son of a rich man. Play it safe and put him in hololive. All right, Philip Oshimo, and we gotta think about each of the killers. Like I said, so what do we know about Philip? He's an immigrant, God bless his soul, and he worked at a junkyard. Old Philip, you know what? I think he'd find a nice indie VT. Alright, now we got Max. What do we know about good old Billy here? Well, what we do know is that he's mentally disabled, physically disabled, and that he was trapped in his own house for like, what, 18? I don't know how old he is. Like, he could be, like, I don't know, he could be in his 30s, 20s, maybe he's 18. Maybe on his 18th birthday, he was like, alright, Mom, Dad, I'm out. I'm taking you with me. I'm gonna put him in Face Connect because he probably relates to him all. Next up, we got the nurse. Okay, I know I did a joke thing like this, but I actually gotta think about where I want to put these all at. So what do we know about the nurse? Well, she's a nurse that went crazy and killed all of her patients. You know what? Just to be safe, I'm just gonna put her in Indie. Move on to the Mikael. See, the kind of like difficulty with this here, now that I think about it, because what some of these characters want is just to kill, and kill even more. So that's a bit of an issue. That's a bit of an issue we have here. I'm just gonna put him in. Next up, we got Zahag. Let's think about it. She's basically a wild animal that just likes to eat. So she's pretty much got the intelligence. Yeah, she's pretty much got the intelligence of a wild animal. All right. Next up, we got the Doctor. We know that he's a crazy mad scientist who likes to experiment on people. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in Face Connect. He probably has some studies. Probably he'll have some studies going on some of the talents. Like the only crazy ones I know of are Tachima and hololive, but that's only one. Next up we got the Huntress. Because in her lore, she kills men and just kidnaps little girls because to be their mother. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put her in Lootuber Watcher. Actually, nah, I'll put her in Indie Viewer. Like, it'll border. Next up, we got Bubba Sawyer. Now, believe it or not, not recently, like, it was like the beginning of the month, I actually watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really like it, because Bubba, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Bubba gets more or less bullied by his family, even though he does all the heavy lifting, let's be honest. Even though he does all the heavy lifting and the cooking and, well, everything else, he gets bullied because he's mentally disabled. Nah. Well, there goes any chance of me being Fishman answering my call. Alright, here comes the hard part. Which one do we want the known pedophile to be in? Because this is the reboot Freddy, not the old one where it was implied that he was a pedophile. No, this guy is full on likes children. You know what? Let's be safe. VT. I've just realized. It took me a while to really figure out which one I wanted to put it in, but honestly, VT is perfect. He goes, oh, Tony. Yeah, okay. Next up, we got the pig. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. The only thing I know from Saw is when Dead Meat covered all the movies and their kill counts. Well, I do know a fair bit of it, though. So let's think about what we know about Amanda. She's extremely devoted to fucking Jigsaw. And some of her traps just don't even have the option of the trappee escaping. Plus she was a drug addict. I'm just gonna put her in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put her in hololive fan. All right, the clown is very easy to put in because yeah, I think the guy who has VHS porn as one of his add-ons is gonna be watching Loottubers. All right, next up we got the Spirit. She's basically someone who practices kendo and is very angry at her father. I think this might be a little. I'm just gonna put her in Vishojo. Why not? All right, next up we got fucking Legion. Yeah, I thought about that. And I think all the individual members will be in Face Connect. Next up we got Adora. Yeah, she probably, I think she'd be an indie viewer, just because she's not a big fan of the, I don't think she'd be she's already an idol worshiper, so she probably wouldn't fit all the rest of these idols in. Maybe, I don't know, she is from like the BC, so she'd be like, wow, these guys really worship these things? Wow. Maybe she would try and fit the idols into her. Nah, I don't think she would. I have no idea the beliefs. I have no idea what the beliefs of people who lived like thousands of years ago have. I have no idea. I'm not an archaeologist. Alright, next up we got Ghostface. Because Ghostface is a perfectionist who like really enjoys killing people. You know what? I think he would be an indie viewer. I think he might just go into random indie stream and be like, hey, about to go kill someone, wish me luck. Next up we got the demo doggy. Let's see what we know about him. He's a rabid wild animal. Alright, next up we got the Oni. Yeah, I think the Oni might be in a... I'm gonna put Oni in hololive. Why not? I think he might get a kick out of... you know what? I think he might... I actually have no fucking idea. You know what? Actually, I'm actually putting both of them back in hololive, because yeah, I think hololive works best for them. All right, next up we got Deathslinger. I'm gonna put Deathslinger in V Shoujo. Why not? I think he'd be the type to enjoy them. Next up we got Pyramid Head. The Silent Hill coming out. I think we basically know that. Silent Hill 2 is just the embodiment of James's lust. Plus that scene in the original where we first met him. He's fucking those mannequins with both heads. Not both heads, with legs coming out of both ends. So I'm gonna put him in. Next up we got fucking the Blight. All right, so Blight is a scientist. So in my fucked up head, I think he enjoys science viewers. I really, I can't get out of my head him watching fucking Obo's lab and taking notes like, yes, this man really knows what it's up to. All right, next up we got the twins. I have the same thing. I bet they watch hololive. I think they watch hololive exclusively for fuwamoco and be like, they're literally us. They're literally us for real. Next up we got Trickster. I like to imagine that Trickster was on some interviews. Like, I like to imagine that Jiwoo got to the level of fame where he got to be interviewed by fucking Fubuki or Korone. I just like to imagine that. I mean, it makes more sense than them interviewing fucking Jared Leto for Morbius. That's just a really fucking funny piece of trivia. Just like VTubers fucking interviewed Jared Leto for fucking Morbius. I occasionally think back to that and just fucking laugh. What kind of cracked up fucking studio exec thought of that? Just like, oh, well listen, our Jared Leto vampire movie isn't doing too good at home. Let's try overseas. Wait, how do we get people to get into theaters overseas? I know! You fuckers know exactly why. Alright, next up we got the artists. You know what, I'm gonna put her in indie. Alright, next up we got Onryo. Now, it's a little difficult to explain. I thought it was a little difficult, because didn't she have like less than 5 minutes of screen time in fucking in Ringu? And all that screen time was just staring someone to death. I'm actively trying to think here, because I have literally no idea about the lore of Ringu or anything, to be honest. You know what? I think I'm gonna put her in VT browser, because the dumbass image in my head is while she's waiting for people to watch her video, she just, and she goes on fucking VT, be like, arguing over people over dumb shit. Alright, next up we got the Dredge. Well, the Dredge, it does have sentience, and he's basically an evil god brought up by the horrible thoughts of a cult. So we gotta think about this for a second. I'm gonna put him in Tuber Watcher. Why not? And next up we got Albert Wesker. Now I actually really fucking love Resident Evil series. As some of you guys know, like a week ago when I finished fucking Revelations. But I haven't played 5 yet. All the games I've played have yet to feature Weskin time over here, so all I know about Wesker is that he really wants to take over the world with fucking mutant viruses, so he wants to release Ouroboros. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put him in V Shoujo, just because he probably watches Zenya and be like, yes. Alright, next up we got the Knight. I'm gonna put the Knight in VT, only because he's a soldier and thrives in conflict. Alright, next up we got the Skull Merchant. This is one of the easiest decisions I've ever made in my life. She's a Niji sister. She rocks some socks into fucking Niji Sanji too. So when all that shit happened early this year, she probably went to fucking Riku and was like, Where's my money, Riku? Where's my money, Riku? Where's the fucking money, Riku? Alright, next up we got Singularity. So where does Singularity go in all this? Yeah, I think he'd like Hololive. He'd probably be like, yes, Hololive is the superior model talent agency, so therefore I shall watch Hololive. Next up we got the Xenomorph. Another wild animal with barely any sentience. Alright, next up we got Chucky. Another easy thing. I'd imagine that he watches the YouTubers in between sessions of killing people. I'd imagine that. Alright, next up we got fucking the Unknown. Yeah, I like to imagine that he watches indie VTubers. He probably browses through them, trying to find which people are talking shit about him. Alright, next up we have Vecna. Here's where the difficulty gets. I have next to no idea what the fuck Vecna is all about. You know what? I'm gonna put him in. You know what? I'm gonna put him in Sojo just for the bare bones knowledge I know of. Alright, next up we got Dracula. Now, I've only played the 8-bit Castlevania games, so I have on NES and SNES because I got the collection. Plus I haven't seen the fucking Netflix show yet, so I have next to no knowledge of this version of Dracula. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think he'd be a Hololive fan, because just for the reason that he just watches probably sits in his castle watching fucking. He would just watch his Narissa all the time. I don't know, or maybe that new one from the new wave, the British swordswoman. Maybe he just sits in his castle drinking wine, watching her. I have no fucking idea. This is all just guesses. I can't exactly ask them. Hey, can't exactly show them every VTuber ever and be like, all right, which one would you prefer?